My office got an unusual number of phone calls and emails from clients in June. Most of them went something like this. Rick, I just got my TD Ameritrade statement for this month, and it says last month's balance was $873,000, but the current balance is zero. And I see from reading your webpage that you've been traveling a lot lately. Is there something you haven't been telling me? Well, it is true that I've been traveling, and I found Norway an expensive place to visit. It's also true that the latest brokerage statements for all my clients showed zero balances. There was, however, no cause and effect relationship between these two facts. The reason for the zero balances was simple enough. Client accounts have been transferred within TD Ameritrade from one entity to another. This was explained on the statements as follows, quote, please be aware that this statement shows a 0-month end balance because the assets were transferred to TD Ameritrade Clearing Inc. mid-month. You will receive another statement from TD Ameritrade Clearing Inc. for the month of May. That statement will show all positions and transaction history post-conversion. The explanation appeared on page 5 in small print. Not highlighted in any way. It was followed by this helpful sentence. If you have any questions about statements, please contact your advisor. In fairness, there was a full, easy-to-find explanation on the company's website. It was easy to find, at least for those account holders with website access who remembered their login names and passwords. Everyone else who had questions apparently picked up the phone. My assistant called the company on behalf of some of our clients. The lines were so busy that it was 2 days before she could get through. Now perhaps TD Ameritrade's account management software wouldn't allow putting a highlighted explanation on the front page of the statements. And printing an extra cover letter and sending it with all the statements would have been expensive. Still, the cost of providing an attention-getting, clear explanation would have saved thousands of clients from momentary panic. It would have also saved the company, as well as their investment advisors, who are all over the country, the time spent answering all those phone calls. Doing a poor job of customer service can be extremely expensive in the long run. There are significant tangible costs. It takes a lot of staff time to respond to those thousands of phone calls from confused or irate customers. The intangible costs in terms of lost trust can be even more damaging. One of the many decisions businesses need to make is how to balance customer service with administrative costs and convenience. Obviously, there is a limit to the amount of hand-holding a business can provide and still keep costs at a reasonable level. These costs, of course, are ultimately paid for by customers. So it makes sense as a customer or client to keep yourself informed and not to demand unrealistic levels of service. One might argue that those who receive zero balance statements should have read them more carefully to find the explanation buried on page 5. Still, people tend to be a bit more sensitive when it comes to issues related to the security of their life savings. A zero balance is not a security building event. When you open a statement and read that your money seems to have disappeared, picking up the phone is an understandable response. One component of customer service means accepting that the responsibility for clear communication belongs primarily to the business, not the customer. For those of us who are dedicated number crunchers, it might even mean accepting the reality that very few people read the fine print on page 5. Thanks for joining me.